I thought it might be helpful to learn how a circular sock machine actually knits a stitch. To start, this is a piece of hand knitting that I have done, just so you can see with the bigger stitches. This sits inside your cylinder like this. This is down in the tube, and this is the right side of your work, which is sitting right inside the cylinder. Each of these stitches is hanging over one of the needles, okay? Over the latch needles, just like this. This is your working yarn going off toward the cone, and a stitch is made. You reach up into the stitch from the previous row and pull up a loop. That's all there is to it. You reach into the next stitch and pull up a loop. When you're knitting on a circular sock machine, the way that works is that the needle is here. Ultimately, the needle pushes up so that the current stitch is below the latch, and then the new yarn gets grabbed in between the top part of the latch needle and the actual latch itself. It grabs hold of the yarn, and when the needle travels under the V-cam, it pulls the working yarn down with it. The weight inside the cylinder lifts this stitch from the previous row back off the back of the needle, and when the needle comes up, this new stitch is around the needle. So now let's take a look at how that looks on the machine. When you're cranking the cylinder clockwise, this is where the stitches are actually being made. The new stitches then travel around the bottom of the cylinder. It's very important that the latches stay tucked into the stitches here. Otherwise, the stitches will fall off when they travel under the V-cams on this side. Then when they come to this center section, the needles lift up and the stitches fall beneath the latches. This angle helps us see what happens next. This is where the needles rise up at 12 o'clock. You can see the stitches have fallen beneath the latches. Right here is where the needles will grab the yarn. It's very important that the yarn is above the latch. You can see on this one, it has pinched, the needle has pinched around the working yarn and is starting to pull under the stitch in the previous row. As the needles travel under the V-cam, you can see that's where the actual new stitches are being formed. And then as they come back up here, the weight in the cylinder is pulling these stitches from the previous row off the back of the needle. The needles come up, and then the new stitches are ready to ride along the bottom of the cylinder. Now let's watch for a few minutes to see how the stitches are actually being made. The last thing I'll show you is that here is where the stitches are being made when the cylinder is cranking clockwise. If you are cranking the other direction, then the rolls of the V-cams are reversed and the stitches will actually be made over here. I hope that helps understand what some of the problems areas are and how the stitches actually get made. Happy knitting! Visit us at deanandbean.com and please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.